To North America now, where authorities say at least 30 people have now died due to the extreme weather that's sweeping the US and Canada. Nearly 2 million homes and businesses have suffered from power outages, and countless holidaymakers have found themselves stranded.
A Christmas day where progress was slow and frustrating. Here in New York State, cars slipping and sliding in slow motion. Ploughs are on the roads trying to clear a path through the snow, but many are only scratching the surface. The state governor urging people to stay home.
I cannot overstate how dangerous the conditions still are. We need people to stay off the roads. Yes, one more day. I know it's Christmas. I know how hard it is. You came off of a couple of years of being separated during the pandemic. It's heartbreaking.
Some of those who wanted to leave their homes couldn't even get out the front door.
Okay, well, that was a colossal waste of time. This is how far I made it out. The snow is so thick and heavy that you can't even get through it.
Snow has been piling up from coast to coast, with freezing winds sending temperatures plunging well below zero. Across the border in Canada, travellers are also battling the elements. Those going by train from Ottawa arrived at the station to find their journeys cancelled. For some, the luggage went back into the taxi. Others, though, don't know how to get home.
Fortunately, the trains were all cancelled for today. So just trying to get back home for the holidays now.
I'm waiting for a cab to go to a hotel and stay there for a day, hopefully, just a day, and then go back to Toronto.
Across North America, the winter weather has knocked out power, leaving millions cold and in the dark. Forecasters say the deep freeze will stick around for Christmas before a return to calmer conditions from Monday.
Well, someone who's had a busy few days is our next guest, meteorologist Matthew Capucci in Washington, D.C. Matthew, hi there. Good to see you. It's quite difficult to describe a storm of this scale and intensity. What's the latest on its progress through Canada and the US?
It certainly is. So this storm was a bomb cyclone, essentially a low pressure system vacuuming in so much air towards the middle. The air went up and out, and now it's sucking in more cold air from behind, which is why temperatures over the central U.S. have dropped to -40 Celsius. Now the issue, even though it's pulled into Canada, is that the cold air is coming in the backside, which is pushing down Lakes Erie and Ontario, picking up moisture from the lakes and depositing it as a form as very heavy snowfall in the vicinity of Buffalo, New York, which is why 130 centimeters of snow have fallen. Again, very prolific snowfall totals of around like 130 centimeters, and blizzard conditions likely as well, with gusts to 90 kilometers per hour.
OK, is there more bad weather to come, or is the worst behind us now?
So the worst, for the most part, looks to be behind us. I think this system is finally pulling into Canada. No more for us in the United States. But the other issue, too, is how wide the system is, about 1,600 kilometers wide, which is why gusty winds are so prevalent. And as a result, about 4,000 flights have been canceled. Roughly 1.5 million people in the U.S. without power, 30 people dead. And the issues for travel have just really been cascading flight delays. So many folks have been unable to travel for the Christmas holiday and many other holidays as well.
Matthew, I'm just interested to know your point of view about the causes of this storm. How much of this can we pin on things like climate change?
I think that's a really tough thing to say. So these sort of storms, these mid-latitude cyclones, tend to feed off something called baroclinicity, or essentially a change in temperature with distance over a short kind of distance at the lower levels. That's something we tend to see near the Gulf Stream, or a warm current of water off the eastern seaboard. So we typically see these things off the east coast of the United States. Very rarely do we see them over the Great Lakes, especially in December. So to see something like this is not necessarily tied to climate change, it's more random, but is a rarity nonetheless. That said, there are signs that the jet stream, the upper level current of winds in the upper atmosphere, is becoming more a little bit wavy thanks to climate change. And that may be something that may have been tied to the development of this system. So again, kind of very spurious links, but kind of tough to connect. But regardless, a sort of, if there was to be a connection, it would be that, albeit unlikely.
OK, Matthew Capucci in Washington, D.C. there. Matthew, thanks very much.
Thank you.